just seemed rude,
Just
didn't it?
one?
Yay! Welcome.
Just
six-time
one of
All-Star,
those
five-time
posters?
All-Star. That just seemed rude, Amar'e. Is that fun watching that, by the way? Like, what's it like watching yourself do that?
Oh, Stat.
Oh, no.
You're muted,
Oh, no, you're muted.
You're on mute.
No, I'm not on mute.
There you go.
There we go. No, it brings back a lot of good memories. You know, that was a fourth quarter play, and it was like a tight game, and it was crunch time. You know, but that was a heck of a game.
God, that's awesome. Okay, since you had, unfortunately, a few moments that you had to share a team with Chandler, 20 games anyways in Dallas, any stories you can share with us?
We had a good time. We had a really good time. I mean, that team in Dallas was a special team. A lot of players I played with, a lot of players I enjoyed playing with at that moment was great. And Chandler and I built a good relationship during that moment. It was a fun season.
Stat, I know the whole thing about the whole wine bath thing went viral back in the day. Are we still doing that, or is that still part of the regimen, or no?
I mean, no, not as much. But I do indulge every now and then, but I more so just kind of consume the wine more so than bathe in it nowadays. You know
what's the benefits? I missed it. What's the benefit?
Like, how many bottles does it take?
Yeah, how did that all come about?
What they were saying at that time is that because of the wine and these things, like the red blood cells get, you know, somewhat enhanced in these things, but it was more so just like a luxury, you know, kickback situation.
Way to keep it 100 with me. It's just look.
Yeah.
Is this high quality wine, or like a Harbor Mist type wine?
Yeah, like a box wine or like a good wine?
And we got I would assume it should be a Cabernet Sauvignon, expensive as it was.
Yeah.
Everything about what's going on right now. You got to start your career against a Supersonics team that was a Gary Payton Supersonics team, which has got to be a fun memory as far as words that were said. Like, what do you remember from your first game out?
My first game against the Supersonics?
Yeah.
I don't really remember, to be honest with you. I was back in 2002.
That's fair.
Because, you know, my rookie year was out of high school, so a lot of the games that I was playing during my rookie year happened so fast. I was somewhat of a bubble, you know what I'm saying? Because everything was just happening all at once. And I went from 32 games a season to 82 games in the season. I'm playing against all the players that I grew up watching when I was a kid. And so that rookie season was like, it happened so fast. A lot of it I can't quite remember, to be quite frank with you.
That's fair.
During your time with the Suns, y'all were called the 7-second or less Suns. Steve Nash running the show. Tell me about that. How was it playing with Steve?
Yeah, it was cool, man, because, you know, obviously in Phoenix, I was drafted by the Suns out in 2002, and we had somewhat of a core group established, right, with myself, with Shawn, Marion, Joe Johnson, and then once we brought Steve in, Steve was a point guard that somewhat got everybody the ball where they needed the ball at, right? And so we all were kind of different in our position. I wasn't a natural center, right? I was a natural power forward. Shawn Marion wasn't a natural power forward. He was a natural small forward. So for us to switch up our positions and use our speed to our advantage, then Nash, the point guard, was able to get us the ball in the right locations. We changed the game when it came to up-tempo style because we were so fast in our positions. But it was fun, man, because the league wasn't quite understanding what was happening. And because we were, like, innovative, we just happened to have so much fun playing free basketball. It was a great time in our career.
Yeah, and Stat, you just mentioned all of those guys that you played with, but, you know, be clear, you and Steve, y'all were that 1-2 punch in that pick and roll. So a lot of people would consider Matrix as that third option, Shawn Marion as that third option. In that era of basketball, do you feel like he's underappreciated with what he brought to the table?
Yeah, Shawn was a Swiss Army knife for us. You know what I'm saying? He was able to guard the top wing players for us. He would steal all my rebounds. You know what I'm saying? And he was a guy that scored without a play being called for him. And so he was like the glue to our team. I mean, obviously Steve was the leading assist guy. I was the leading point scorer, shot blocker, rebounder. So and Shawn was right there leading our team in rebounds also, depending on the season. So we all played an intricate part in that 7 seconds or less offense.
Stat, the Suns and the Spurs had so many playoff battles during your time, including the 2007 one, which the Suns ended up losing in 6 games. There was a suspension of Game 4 where you came off the bench when Robert Horry knocked Nash into the scorer's table. This play right here.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, you don't get suspended. Do you guys win a championship?
Absolutely, bro. I think when Nash laid down flat on his back, I thought he was severely hurt, bro.
Yeah.
So
sure.
we walking toward the court like, what the heck is going on? And then we happened to get suspended. At that time, we didn't know the rules. Myself, Boris Diaw, the coaching staff even didn't quite know the rules at that point. It wasn't talked about at all. And I'm walking the court to check on Nash because he laid out flat as if he was
Right.
done for. And then we got suspended. But yeah, man, I think we would have won a championship. I came back in game 6, 38-16 against Duncan. And we had a chance to win the series, but it was too late by that point.
No.
I love that you remember 38-16 against Duncan. So specific.
Yeah.
By the way, we have Robert Horry on the show.
Yeah, it was a lot more than that. Now we can go back. A few years prior to
Why
that.
would I do that? Why are we doing that, Mark?
That was a routine checkup. That was a routine checkup right there. Now.
I gotta use that one. That wasn't nothing.
Okay, I kind of might steal that. We do have Robert Horry on the show tomorrow, which is very random coincidence. Any messages, anything you want me to relay?
Nah, Robert doing his thing. I mean, you got to think at that point in time, you know, committing a hard foul is kind of the way basketball is, depending on the game situation, right? So for him to commit that foul to Steve Nash, I figured it was a part of the game, but it's still, we had to figure out what was going on with Nash. So we walked on the court to see what was going on, and unfortunately, the NBA came back with a harsh decision, and it cost us a championship.
Yeah, I don't love that, by the way. Was that the best team, 2007, best team you played on?
Yeah, 2007 was a good year. I want to say 2005, 2006 was it? 2004, 2005 was another good year. We had opportunities. We had a lot against us. We had the officiating situation that took place the years after that. Tim Donahue was a part of this whole thing that was going on in our series. So it was a lot that was happening, but we had our chance.
You played 2 seasons with SHAQ towards the end of his career. Tell us what it was like playing with SHAQ.
It was great playing with SHAQ, man. You know, growing up in Florida, Penny and SHAQ was my 2 favorite players at that time because Mike Jordan had retired, and then it was SHAQ and Penny. And watching them growing up was like, you know, those are my guys. And SHAQ began to become my favorite player in the NBA, ripping down backboards and all this kind of stuff. And then to be able to now compete against SHAQ with SHAQ and Kobe in the Lakers, and then having SHAQ on our team was big for us. You know, we had a chance to win a championship then with SHAQ, but I had suffered the eye injury, so I was out for the second half of that season. But playing with SHAQ was great, man. Just his knowledge of the game of basketball and his information he gave over to me, even off the court, was very helpful for me to kind of establish my particular entrepreneurship. So it's great playing with SHAQ.
Yeah.
Was he, I mean, he just strikes me as someone who's just fun to be around and never that serious. Like, what was he like as far as the fun stuff? Did he prank people? Was he goofy? Like, what was he like?
Yeah, he pranked everybody except for me. He was like, he put a lot of popcorn in Goran Dragic's car, filled his car with popcorn and all this kind of stuff. SHAQ was always goofing around, man. That's just his personality. He's always funny and like to have a good time. You know, and that's SHAQ. He always did these type of things. I mean, he was bringing the training staff and the whole nine. He was always doing something.
After that Phoenix run, then you go over to New York and you reunite with Coach D'Antoni. I had him down in Houston, so I know the vibes with D'Antoni. And then later on in February, Carmelo Anthony joined that group. Why do you feel? What's your thoughts in hindsight? Why that team didn't quite get over the hump? Because you guys had a hell of a lot of talent and were highly touted. Why do you think that particular group didn't get over the hump?
Well, when I first got to New York, I wanted to go to a place. First of all, I was raised in New York, right? I moved to New York in the 3rd grade. I was there until high school, basically. So I was familiar with New York. But then also, D'Antoni was there. And so I felt like it was a great reunite situation to go to New York. And I knew D'Antoni would let me play my game, right? A lot of people at that time thought I was only a pick and roll guy and I only could do these things. And I'm like, that's far from the truth. So when I got to New York, I knew D'Antoni would allow me to play my full game. And that's what I was able to accomplish that first half of that season. And I was playing team basketball. I was getting everybody involved with Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Gallinari. All these guys were playing, you know, having career years. And then once we brought in another superstar like Carmelo, he requires a lot of attention. So when Melo comes to our team, the ball doesn't quite is not moving as much because Melo requires a lot of attention. He's one of the offensive greats. So when he gets to basketball, he's looking to score. And so a lot of the cohesiveness somewhat faded away during that time. And then I also started suffering some injuries year 2, year 3, battling back and forth. And that's kind of how things panned out throughout that time in New York. We tried our best. We gave it all we got, but we just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's so funny. Carmelo Anthony is just one of those characters. It's like people either love him or they hate him. Like it's a very polarizing thing. What do you think it is about Melo that some people don't get or don't like?
I don't know. I think Melo's a solid guy. I've been knowing Melo since high school. He's been the same. He's very personable. Everyone loves to be around him. He's a fun guy to be around. He gives off all this great information to people, and he's just kind of open-hearted kind of guy. When it comes to basketball, he's an offensive guy first. So a lot of people critique this game because he's not passing the ball very much. So people who are fans don't really like that as much. Kobe had that thing where he was kind of, the same type of guy, and people start hating Kobe because he didn't pass the ball. Early in Mike Jordan's career, people were saying the same thing. Mike doesn't pass the ball. And the same thing with Carmelo, because he wasn't a pass-first kind of guy. People started to somewhat create this dilemma with Melo, but he's such a great offensive player. And then everyone started to realize how good he is as an offensive player. And those players sometimes get that type of critiqueness because they're so good offensively.
Stat, during your time in New York, I got to ask you about it, because that 2011-2012 season, Linsanity. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in sports. Tell me what that was like, just being there for that, obviously on the floor with him.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro, because, Jeremy Lin, almost that entire season, we didn't really know who he was. He was on our team. we paid him no mind. I mean, he was like the 12th, 13th guy. And so he wasn't really around doing anything for us at that point in time. And then once I think Melo got hurt, my brother passed away, so I went back to Florida for his funeral. And then, so Linsanity had to step up. I mean, so when he got into the ball game, no one knew a scout report about Jeremy Lin. And so he had I think 30 game one. And then what happened was when he played against the Lakers, and, obviously with Kobe coming to town, it's a whole fiasco in Madison Square Garden. So when Kobe come in town and then Jeremy Lin had the game that he had, then Linsanity started. I get back to New York and I'm seeing Jeremy Lin jerseys. I'm seeing all of Asia in New York now. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And the stadium going crazy.
It's crazy.
We play a game in Toronto. We down, I think we down 1 or something like that. And with like 5 seconds left and Jeremy Lin got the basketball, I'm flashing up like, all right, get the ball to the big dog now. It's time to win the game. He fanning me out of the way like, nah, I got this. I'm like, what? And he pull up for the three and hit it. I'm like, oh, okay. So now we in that Jeremy Lin era. All right, cool. Yeah, that was a fun time.
That was crazy.
Hilarious. I want to talk to you about the current New York Knicks. Right now, they're fourth in odds to be a title contender and win it. What would a championship do to New York City right now in this day and age with the group that they have?
Yeah, it'd be crazy, man. I mean, you gotta think about all the social media, all the entertainment, all the cameras and all this stuff nowadays. To win a championship in New York would be times 20 what it was back in the the 90s or so, right? And I think they got a good chance, man. We got, obviously winning a championship is not easy. Being a premier player like Jeremy Lin, like Jalen Brunson, when you got that type of green light, and you got a team that's cohesively with you, you got a great chance to do something special. And it's a matter of them coming together and really figuring out how to really win a championship. And it's not easy, but it can happen.
Can't be naming streets, though, before the conference finals. I can't do that again next season. I think that was a jinx, Amar'e. That was too much too soon. Energy drink and protein bar. Grab one. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Grab One is a new innovative protein drink, hydration, and also protein shakes that allow you to have a very, very high level nutrition, right? I mean, since my career has been over, I've been staying in shape. And a lot of things that we do to stay in shape is that we make sure we fuel our body with the right ingredients. And having Grab One being now out there to give over to the people. It's more so about having the proper nutrition to fuel your body, your muscles. If you're working out, if you're running in the run club or whatever you're doing, it gives you a chance to hydrate properly, and that's what we're doing.
Hear that, Chandler? You got to fuel better.
I need to grab 10.
He needs to.
Chandler, grab 10, man. You got to grab 10 of them.
Amar'e, thank you so much. We appreciate the time very much.
Thanks,
I
Seth.
got you, no problem. All right, fellas.
We'll be right back. That man has a family.
Hey, grab me.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up.